Kit. Hold on.
We're holding.
Got it.
Welcome to the SDP. Fucking.
What the? You be starting that shit? Did you start that shit already?
Yeah, it's started.
I was like, fucking wasn't even on screen.
Doesn't matter. Welcome to
Does
that.
matter.
Go ahead and introduce us, Trauma. Go ahead.
Welcome to that.
That was a great introduction. Suspend Disbelief podcast.
That's how you sounded, motherfucker.
Say, is that how I sounded?
Suspend Disbelief podcast. What's with the? What is this? Star Trek font?
No. Is it
That looks like Star Trek shit.
Does it look like Star Trek?
It does.
Well, that's that. You know, it's a free font that I use, so you know, whatever.
I got you.
So how we doing, man? How we doing on the wrestling business? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You know, are you even into it anymore?
Into what? The podcast? I'm not into.
I'm just asking for an hour a week. That's all I'm asking of you.
Who are you making fun of there? Who are you teasing that there?
Making fun of you. Making fun of you,
why?
Bitch.
Why is that? Why would I ask you that question?
I don't know. You should ask yourself that question.
Mm.
Ain't you the motherfucker that didn't want to record the other week because you felt fat?
Yeah.
And then you gonna come back and be like, man, are you even committed to this?
No, I never say committed to this. I was just like, hey, are you into it? You know, because, you know, sometimes it's just like, you gotta ask, you know, like, hey, you still want to do it or not? Because I don't know if you got other shit going on. I don't know if you got other podcasts in the work. You know, like, you got people trying to, like, you know, make podcasts.
I've had offers, you know, but, you know.
I know. I've heard people offering you podcasts and shit. So
what you be hearing, man?
I just heard, you know, like, I took some magic mushrooms one night and I went and I meditated and I was like, and I came and I was like, let me visit Trauma, you know, and I visited Trauma and I saw you talking about with somebody, you know, about trying to overtake the podcast. Just fucking around. I'm just fucking around, man.
You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, really.
By the way, we don't advocate mushroom usage on this podcast.
We don't advocate mushroom usage for any cooking purposes at all. Only for recreational purposes.
I just had some mushrooms yesterday.
Really?
They were sauteed though. They weren't magic.
Oh, I got some of the magical ones right there. Whoa, what was that?
Don't be putting drugs on this shit.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't any.
I'm very anti-drug.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been going on, man? So like, I've been watching a lot of independent wrestling.
Yeah. So you say, what you've been watching like old ass shit though?
Well, you know, I kind of just look for matches that I want to see, like say the Young Bucks versus like Ray Phoenix and Penta. Zero. That's the shit. I like it when he does that. Like he goes, what does he say? Can you tell me what he says? Because I really don't.
He says Ciero Miedo,
which means
Miera or some shit like that.
It
means zero fear.
Zero fear, right? Yeah. Which is dope. But then when he does it in a person's face, like bam, bam, like in your face.
Yeah, don't you watch Lucha Underground?
No, I don't actually, because Lucha Underground's storylines are kind of too folky. You know, like they have like that guy that's like their Vince McMahon kind of guy who's got like one eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
The old guy who has a cane in Lucha Underground.
Dario Cueto?
The main, the owner, right? The owner.
Well, what season are you even on?
4. I just started season 4, right?
Have you seen the first few seasons?
Mm-mm.
Well, fuck, don't just jump in on the 4th season.
I'm not gonna fucking start some. All right, well.
Start from the beginning. Who the fuck? It's episodic, man. You don't just start on season 4. That's like fucking starting The Walking Dead today and being like, I don't understand what's going on. No shit, motherfucker. You missed the first goddamn 4 seasons.
Well, they have like Tommy Dreamer.
Jump in.
They had like Tommy Dreamer come out. They had like like a what was it? Like like a Royal Rumble type thing. You know what I'm saying? Called the
The
Aztec.
Gauntlet for the Go. Oh, Aztec Warfare.
Yeah, Aztec Warfare. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that. Which was, I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, I've only seen the first 2 seasons, so
Oh, okay. So.
because that shit's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I have it on the El Rey network or some shit.
Yeah, well, I have trouble doing week to week episodic stuff. You know, because it's got shit going on. And it's hard to keep up week to week with everything.
Yeah.
I'm more of a catch the big shows kind of guy. I mean, I barely even watch Raw or SmackDown anymore. Like, that's just not a priority for me. Cause yeah,
Well,
WWE's been pretty horrible.
SmackDown's no, I wouldn't say that. The whole thing with Becky Lynch, what's going on with Becky Lynch is pretty cool. Fucking Becky Lynch being the champion and being a heel, pretty much. I think that's pretty dope.
They want her to be a heel, but I mean, everyone's cheering for her.
Yeah, it's just like that Stone Cold kind of thing. Like, you know, it's what everyone's wanted for her. You know. Like, she's just a badass now, you know. She's just.
Do you think they like Becky, or do you think they're just sick of Charlotte? I think it's a little bit of both.
I think they didn't expect Becky to fucking pop off as the way she is popping off right now, you know. So they're letting her run with it for a minute.
Well, Becky. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, because when I was watching week to week, they spent a good 2-3 months just letting Becky win matches, no storyline, nothing. She was just, beating everyone every week. And I mean, people were behind her, but it wasn't like, oh my God, Becky Lynch, But once they brought Charlotte back and got her involved in the mix, everyone was kind of like, no, everyone's like, no, we want Becky, So I think a lot of it has to do with like a Charlotte backlash.
Well, yeah, because the whole SummerSlam thing, right, where
it
looked like Becky was about to take that, right? Becky was about to take the belt, and then Charlotte comes and gets the. I think they played.
And everyone knew that Charlotte was going to get it, and they were like, "This bitch is stealing her spotlight."
Yeah. So I mean,
but they misdid the whole story though, because they tried to make it like, Becky was the heel, and that's not the story the audience wanted. So now they're kind of like in this. They basically mistake their way into a really good situation, kind of like with Daniel Bryan. Where now, they have like a star in the making that they could, if they just let it go and let it happen naturally and let the fans decide. But WWE doesn't really do subtle or letting the fans, they'll take her and be like, oh, they're going to cheer her. Let's turn her into like a horrible baby face. And then fans are going to turn on her like immediately. That's what they do. Look what they're doing with Braun. I mean, your most over babyface, so now they're trying to force him into being a heel. I mean, they don't know what they're doing, man.
Well, I wouldn't say they wouldn't know what they're doing, because they probably planned the whole Becky Charlotte thing out from the beginning. They probably like, oh, fans gonna flip if she comes in and takes the takes the belt. Like they probably had that shit planned for a minute. Don't you think? Like
I don't have enough faith in them to think that was their plan. I think they thought that they were going to go and have I think the plan was Becky versus Charlotte, but I think they really thought that Charlotte was going to be a big baby face and they were going to make Becky some, big heel. I think they thought that when Becky turned on Charlotte, people were going to be like pissed that she turned her back on, her supposed best friend. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, either way, they lucked into a really great story here. If they meant to do it or not, they backed into something really great, because Becky has momentum, and not a lot of people have momentum in the WWE. Everyone's either standing still or they're moving backwards. Someone will move forward a little bit, and then like look at Lashley. They started moving him forward, then bam, right back. But Becky actually has momentum.
The thing is with Lashley, I don't think he's very talented. I don't think he's superstar potential at all. I really don't think he should be even in the WWE. Maybe like in TNA or something, he would rock.
I think if they would have went with Lashley and Brock at SummerSlam, it could have worked.
I love what they're doing with Brock right now. You saw the Hell in a Cell?
I saw clips.
All right. Do you know what happened at the end?
Yeah, I know that they're paying him an ungodly amount of money to come into this Saudi Arabia show, which is ridiculous.
And what about Shawn Michaels coming to do the Shawn
Oh, don't
Michaels?
even get me started on that. I mean, don't you think that's ridiculous that he's going to come out of retirement
All right,
to
wait a minute.
do
So wait a minute. Wait a
tag
minute.
match?
Okay, anytime. So Shawn Michaels come out of retirement before, right? When he's come
No,
out,
he has never come out of
yes, he has
retirement.
one time. Yes,
He
he has.
has not. He has not come out of retirement.
All right,
He has
not
not
retirement.
wrestled a match since The
All
Undertaker.
right, so wait a minute. Shawn Michaels has come out against Triple H, right? Like
No, that's when he came back to wrestling after his career-ending injury.
So he had a dope. No one thought he was gonna have a dope match, right? No one thought. Everyone thought it was gonna be a weak match, right? Didn't you? I thought it was gonna be a weak match. It was a great match.
Well, I didn't know how recovered he was.
Well,
it turned out he was pretty damn recovered because he ended up wrestling for a long time after that.
Right.
But the fact was he was off for 4 years, but he wasn't retired. He couldn't perform.
How long has it been since WrestleMania 27? How long has it been?
Ooh, it's been a long ass time, man.
5 years. 5 years? So how many years is that?
Okay, well let's see.
7 years. 7 years.
Because after Taker retired him, he had 2 years in a row with Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had the Brock match. Then he had the Braun Strowman match, and then he had the Cena match. Right?
Right.
Am I missing anything? So that's 5 years. So about 5 WrestleManias.
So now, what about Undertaker's coming out of retirement, right? Pretty much coming out.
He never officially retired.
And then I think it's going to be great. I actually can't wait for it because it's going to be a tag match, but it's going to be a tag match that you think that they're just going to wrestle a tag match that no one wants to see. It's going to be a tag match that we're all going to talk about. It's going to
be Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus Taker and Kane.
It's D-Generation X versus the Brothers of Destruction. It's completely
different.
I mean,
dude, it's 2018. Like, seriously, let me give you a choice here. If you had a choice that you could say, we have Shawn Michaels back, one match only.
Right.
Would you rather rehash all this stuff from years and years ago, or would you rather say Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan, Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles? I mean, there's these legit dream matches that just one more match. I think it's such a waste and not even worth it that you're gonna break this. He's the only guy that's kept it. I think a lot of fans respect the fact that he never came back. How many times has Ric Flair come back?
All right,
Mick Foley came back. He never came back, though. I mean, I know it's not real, but don't you have respect for the fact that he was retired and he honored it and he never came back?
You know what I don't respect? I don't respect Shawn Michaels coming out and plugging his hunting show. I don't respect Shawn Michaels coming out and saying HB Shizzle. I don't respect that shit at all. You know what I would respect is if Shawn Michaels comes back as a Heartbreak Kid, right? And fucking sweet chin music, some motherfuckers, and then some DX chops, and that would make me mark out. I would mark out for something like that for sure.
I think it's just a waste, though. I mean, if you're gonna,
when he came back last time, right? He had to have that match against Triple H because he knew Triple H would take care of him. He knew that Triple H is going to make him look good.
You don't think Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles would take him to an amazing match?
You don't think that Shawn Michaels thinks that AJ or Daniel Bryan will go into business for themselves first?
No, never. Dude, Daniel Bryan is his student. It's his protege.
Okay,
He's
so
not
maybe
AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Maybe this is just him testing the waters. Maybe this is him just seeing what it would be like to come back. The fans accept him,
dude. You know what I find disrespectful? It's if Shawn Michaels wants to come back and wrestle, whatever, dude. Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest of all time, one of my favorites, one of your favorites, one of everybody.
Right, exactly.
We've been saying we would love to see him wrestle for forever, And I thought that if they had a right moment, they could do it. Like when Daniel Bryan was having his thing. Remember when he super kicked Daniel Bryan and everyone lost their shit because they were like, oh, they're setting up Daniel versus Shawn. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm never coming out of retirement. I have too much respect for the fans and The Undertaker and all that. Fine. He's not coming back because, he wants to put on another match, or he wants his
What do you think it
kids
is?
to see him wrestle like Goldberg. Goldberg came back. He wanted his son to see him, be a superhero, be a wrestler. His son never got to see that, so he did it, right?
What do you think it
He's
is?
coming back for the big money because it's the Saudi Arabia thing, man.
Yeah.
The problem is Saudi Arabia, these guys, they want these wrestling shows, but they have no idea about modern wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you see about how they were requesting Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior and all these? They wanted all these guys to be on the first Saudi Arabia show. It's like,
I didn't know that.
Yo,
No, what are you talking about? What is
some
that?
of these guys are dead,
Wait.
like the Prince of Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know how that
booking
works. Not
his
trying
own
to
card,
offend
right?
nobody. I just don't know how that works.
Right.
But whoever, like the royalty in charge, like they were requesting that when the WWE comes over, they bring Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior and like Bret Hart, like people that are dead.
Isn't that kind of endearing?
Yeah,
isn't that kind of like endearing though? Like it's like,
yeah, it's a
that's
little
so
endearing,
cute.
but it's also like, dude, what the fuck? These guys have been dead for years.
Yeah, but that shows like how
that's
much
the problem.
I mean,
that's what it is though. The money they're paying, if they want, they don't know the new product. They don't know the new guys. They want the old stuff. That's why the Undertaker came back. That's why Cena and Triple H were there. And so they're like, we got to justify these guys paying this insane amount of money to us, so we need to give them something big. And so, they're going to go to Shawn Michaels, and I'm sure Shawn Michaels is like, no, like he probably said the same thing, because, I mean, if he turned down Daniel Bryan, and he turned down, coming back to wrestle AJ, he's not even, I mean, I'm sure even Triple H was like, how about another match with me or another match with The Undertaker, and he always, how many WrestleManias have they gone to him and tried to get him to come back,
Yeah.
But it got to a point where, WWE just, you keep adding zeros, and eventually you're just going to be like, okay,
right.
fuck it.
You can't say no, right? And if it's a tag match, it's like you're doing half the work too, right?
Yeah, and he's not, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why it feels like a waste to me, because you got pretty much Undertaker's extremely limited at this point. I mean, he can still go, but I mean, do you really think that his match with Triple H is going to be believable?
Let's see, like this Triple H versus Undertaker. Don't say he can't go, because, I mean,
I'm not saying he can't go, but I mean, he saves it for like a WrestleMania. Do you think he's really going to go all out for this?
Now, do you think like the way these pay-per-views are working, because pay-per-views don't technically exist anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But it seems like these big shows are like the next pay-per-view. So like, one month we have Australia, next month we have Saudi Arabia, the other month we're gonna have Japan. Like I feel like we're gonna do India, things like that.
Did you see that for Saudi Arabia show though? I mean, let's not pretend that was a WrestleMania type show. That was like
a Royal Rumble. It was kind of like a Royal Rumble.
It was like a house show, basically.
You had a 50-man
there was
Royal
nothing
Rumble.
special
It was pretty big.
about it. There was nothing amazing
50-man
about
Royal
it.
Rumble. 50-man Royal Rumble was pretty big, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, what was that? I mean, it was just to get a bunch of guys in there. There was nothing substantial that happened on that show. They built it up like it was going to be a WrestleMania show. It was like a house show. I think this Australia show is just going to be another house show, It's not going to be anything major, but the pay-per-views don't even feel major either. So to me, they're all just like glorified house shows now. It's because they don't need, honestly, they don't need this anymore. I mean, their rights deals with Fox and with USA, they have so much money that, they could run the network with no subscribers and be fine. They could have no viewers. I mean, they probably could have no viewers because they get canceled, but they make so much money off of rights deals that, they don't need pay-per-views to sell. They don't need house shows to sell out, They can do whatever the hell they want, basically, because they have all this guaranteed money in their pocket. So now they're more like, they're just trying to get more money, because now, these people are like, these are like sold shows, they're buying these shows. They're saying, we're going to give you this much money to come here twice a year. Here's what we want. We want Shawn Michaels. They're like, okay, Shawn Michaels is retired and he doesn't want to wrestle. No, we're paying you this much money. We want Shawn Michaels. Okay, I'm going to get you Shawn Michaels, We want The Undertaker versus Triple H. Okay, we'll give you that match, So it's like, there's not a lot of creativity because there's not a lot of reason to be creative. It's like, it's the time to play it safe, it's the time to rely on our old stars. We're not going to take chances and do this because we need to. We've got our set money, we've got our set advertisers, our ratings are what they are. So let's stick with what we're doing, keep the ratings stable.
Now let me ask you: do you think like, all right? Do you think like Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, right, would be a bigger main event than Triple H versus The Undertaker? Anywhere?
I think here. I think in certain places in the U.S. where the fans are more smarky or more my type of fans.
Right.
Like I think both of us represent like a different type of fan, Like I think I'm more of like a smart mark kind of fan and you're more of like a mainstream big time kind of fan, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying either one is better than the other. I'm just saying you're more like of a mainstream type of fan and I'm more like of an underground type of fan.
I'm a Hulk Hogan fucking eat your vitamins.
Yeah, you're like
you're like a macho man. You're like a macho man.
Hulk Hogan,
right.
And I was like the guy that used to be like watching the NWA and being like, "Yo, this Ric Flair dude can wrestle,"
Right.
And you're like, "Yeah, but you see Hulk Hogan posing over here?
Right.
Like, man, fuck that shit. This motherfucker can wrestle,"
Right.
But yeah, so I think that there's a split there. But to your point, like if there's a split, why not just do both and get everyone,
But they are doing both.
It's like, yeah, exactly. That's why I don't blame them for doing it because, like, if they only did AJ and Joe, I'm gonna watch it, and all the guys like me are gonna watch it. If they only did the other one, you're gonna watch it. But now they're doing both, so we're both gonna watch the show, So I understand why they're doing it, but I think if they would take the time and actually build AJ and Joe into like the big stars of today, then you wouldn't have this problem. We're not building stars. I mean, have you seen this stat on AJ? In the past 2 years, 15 of his pay-per-view matches have ended in a screwy finish, in a count-out or a DQ, or it's like this is one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's pretty much had the title for like 2 years. He's pretty much been main eventing and running SmackDown for like 2 years. But every match he's in has been screwy, the Jinder thing, the Nakamura thing, the Kevin Owens, now with Samoa Joe. Like, can't we just let this guy win or lose,
But that's always been
doing these. Yeah, but they keep doing these screwy finishes, I mean, they rely on this so much that it's like that's why I don't even like. Do you want to go into a pay-per-view and knowing that you're not going to get a finish? I mean, doesn't that make you feel like you just wasted your time?
No,
if you're investing to see Roman versus Brock and then there's not even a finish? If you've been with 2 title matches and you got screwy finishes? You remember when pay-per-views used to be where you settled things and have a good, clean finish to resolve a feud? Like, nothing gets resolved anymore, so there's no end. So it gets to a point where you're just like, why am I even investing my time when there's never going to be a conclusion to this,
I mean, I agree with you, but then at the same time, like the Hell in a Cell, like I love that Brock Lesnar came out and fucking like that was the shit to me. I was like, fuck yes, like hell yeah, like I love that finish, At the same time, I hear you. Like I did want to see Samoa Joe take that belt, I do want to see Samoa Joe take the belt from him, and But so it really depends, man. It's really on the writing, really fucking WWE writing, like what.
I was like
protecting, and it's protecting their dudes too, like.
That's the thing, though. It's like you can't protect everyone, and like you can't. It's like if you just protect anyone, then no one's a star. Like it's all 50-50. I'm gonna beat you, then you beat me. I'm like, that's not how you make stars. Did they protect The Undertaker? Yeah. Did they protect John Cena? Yeah. They protected certain guys. That's why they're stars. I mean, Goldberg, they protected Goldberg. That's why he's a star. They protected Hulk Hogan. That's why he's a star. If we go back in the day and if we protected everyone, let's say Hogan, and then you got the Big Boss Man, and they feud, and neither of them.
Why don't you say Hogan and Ultimate Warrior? Wait, Hogan and Warrior, right?
Like but even then, you didn't protect. They had one match, and Hogan lost, clean in the middle.
Right.
He was not protected there. Right. I'm saying.
Like and then who became a star? Then who became a star after that?
But Hogan was already a star.
But then Ultimate Warrior became a star after that, didn't he?
He became. How did he become a star? He was like one of their worst drawing champions. They went immediately back to Hogan. They went back to Hogan immediately because no one bought Warrior, as a top guy. That's not even my point, though. My point is, imagine back in the day, like, some of Hogan's rivalries, Hogan and Boss Man, Hogan and Earthquake, and all that. You protect the guy up to a certain point to make him a legitimate challenger for Hogan, right? And then Hogan goes in there and beats them. That way, Hogan is the star. He's your drawing guy. If Hogan and Mr. Perfect just like kept beating each other every other month, by the time it was over, there was no star there, because they're just equals. And like if Hogan had to, how many pay-per-views did Hogan go in and win by countout or DQ or Cena? How many pay-per-views did Cena go in and win by The Undertaker, Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton? They would get pay-per-view wins. Or, and when you beat them, it meant something. Like, when Daniel Bryan beat John Cena clean, it was a big deal. When Brock Lesnar went in there and murdered John Cena, it was a big fucking deal because these dudes never lose, Like, when someone beats AJ Styles, who cares? This dude never gets big wins. He never gets clean wins. He's like, he's not a star, That's like my point. It's too much 50-50, It's like you need to build stars. Not everyone's going to be a star. So pick who you want to build, make them a star, And that way, you don't have to rely on these guys every year. It's like it was bad enough where every WrestleMania we had to call The Undertaker. We had to call Triple H. We have to call Gold. We have to be like, holy shit, it's WrestleMania. We need to find stars because we have no stars. But now with these shows, they're doing it like 3-4 times a year. So by the time WrestleMania comes around, is it a big deal that The Undertaker's there? That Triple H is there? Like, we've seen these guys wrestle like 4 times already this year. It's not... It's
but then again, do you only want to see Triple H and Undertaker, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania? No. Like, you can't...
Yeah, but wrestling, though, I'm not talking about coming out and, like you said, promoting, watch my hunting show, right. Shit like that. I'm talking about when Shawn Michaels wrestles, whether I like it or not, that should be, and it probably will be, a really big deal, Like when The Undertaker comes out and wrestles, even Triple H, it should, when Kurt Angle wrestles, it should be like a big deal, and it should be saved for like a big deal, like a WrestleMania. And now it's like super watered down because we're just going to roll them out for these big bought shows because they want to see these guys, I just feel like by the time WrestleMania comes around, it's going to be like, so what? How many, I've seen these guys already. How many times I've seen them wrestle like 3 times already this year. So I think like they're just going for the money grab. It's going to bite them in the end, though.
I think they know what they're doing. Really, I think they know what they're doing, and bringing Shawn Michaels out at this time is going to allow them to build for a match. Like, imagine this though, career versus career, right? WrestleMania 35, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
But
right, like that's like, okay, thank you.
How's that?
Right?
How can you take that step serious though? When they've had that match
so maybe
and they're both still wrestling.
Maybe it'll be retirement.
How can you take a career match?
But maybe it'll be like
you're
retirement
gonna be like, okay, he's really going to retire this time.
Or okay, maybe the person that has to retire Undertaker, right, is Shawn Michaels. Maybe it's like Undertaker's like, Shawn Michaels, you're the only one that, can blah, blah, blah. So come out of retirement for, whatever. Like, but bringing Shawn Michaels out now allows them to build that match for WrestleMania. Like, just imagine WrestleMania, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. That would be the shit. And don't say it wouldn't be the shit, because it will be. Because it will be the shit.
I don't know, man. Like, dude, depends how it's gonna look in the ring.
It'll look pretty
I'm not all about just nostalgia. Nostalgia's fine, but for the biggest show of the year, I want good in-ring quality. I don't just want nostalgia acts. And we're gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, we've gone one too far. He can't go anymore. We're gonna get there eventually, and
I think with the Undertaker,
yeah, I think we're already there. Did you see how quickly they made that Cena match go by? There's a reason why him and Cena didn't go out there and have a long match. And then, like, I think with Shawn Michaels, who is, like, such a in-ring guy, he prides himself on being, like, the greatest in-ring performer.
And he's a trainer.
He's not going to want to go out there and have a shitty match, you know?
But he's a trainer down in NXT, right? So you don't think that he's in the ring and he knows what his ability is and he knows, like...
I don't doubt he can still go. I'm doubting that maybe maybe the Undertaker can't have the level of match that he would want to have.
But what's the saying? How's the saying go? Like, he can make a broomstick look good, right?
Well, maybe, but I mean, he hasn't wrestled in how long, and this ain't exactly, he ain't exactly young either anymore. I mean,
how old is
he doesn't even look like Shawn Michaels anymore with his damn short hair, and
True.
He's up there. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I mean, that's what I would rather have seen. Like, like I said, him taking someone. That's the problem with it. Like, I have no problem with all these older guys, but why not make someone new? Like, remember when Undertaker and CM Punk, at WrestleMania? That was like a moment where I felt like, okay, this is what you got to do. Let's take the Undertaker and let's make CM Punk here,
Right.
Like stuff like that.
Well, CM Punk was already made at that point. CM Punk was already he dropped the pipe bomb at that point.
Yeah, he was on his way, but he needed, he was, besides Triple H and John Cena, there was no real, like, top guys around to really make, CM Punk. And so I thought that was good that they paired him up with, like, The Undertaker, because, after what they did with The Rock, where The Rock and Cena basically made CM Punk look like a little bitch, they really needed to kind of rehab him there. But, like, so, I think, like, an AJ Styles, and it's like, the thing is, these guys aren't young either. AJ Styles is, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, they're all 40 or pushing 40, so it's like, you need to take these guys now. Yeah, you don't got years to make these guys your top guys, in like 10 years, when you need these, like, legends to come back, it should be the AJ Styles and the Daniel Bryans and the Samoa Joes that are like your new Triple H's and Undertakers that you bring in for these big shows. But none of them are like at that level where, you bring them back in 10 years, it's going to feel like a big deal,
I think like Randy Orton.
Yeah, like a Randy Orton, but I consider Randy Orton. Okay. I consider him like a John Cena type, where he's already established. Besides like Orton,
what about like the New Day? Like if they brought back the New Day, you know what I'm saying? That would bring a pop.
That would be like a nostalgia kind of pop, but
that's what
I consider them legendary. Like, who from the current roster do you consider like a legend? You know what I mean?
Or gonna be a future legend?
Or gonna be a legend? I could see, I could see Jeff Hardy.
The Miz.
I could see, I could see that too. But there's not a lot.
Now, what about like what was I gonna say? Fuck. By the way, Roman Reigns, the Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. If they come back in 10 years, that's a huge legendary pop, don't you think?
As a threesome, yeah. If they reunite them, the three of them.
What about like
I think Seth Rollins could be that one of those guys.
I definitely think he's
think Roman, he divides the crowd to a point where, like, I think if he would be on controversy alone, it would be a big pop.
If Roman Reigns took a year off, if Roman Reigns took a year off and came back in a year, everyone's popping for him. Everybody's popping for him.
Yeah.
If he took a year off. Now, what about like this rumor that they're saying like WrestleMania is going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
I don't see that happening. I don't see The Rock in any more matches. After he got hurt in that Cena match and he fucked up that movie he was doing. I don't see anyone in Hollywood. Unless he doesn't have a movie, and when the fuck is he not have a movie?
Well, I think they're already planning around it. Like, he's already making a schedule around WrestleMania right now. So, I think
that Rock and Roman, if you think the crowd was pissed before, can you imagine how pissed they would be if Roman Reigns beat The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania? That would be like riot.
That would be great, though. That would be great television. That would be great, like, because people like you would your lids would blow. My lid would blow. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's going to be talking about it.
My lid wouldn't blow at all because I would think it's the right call. You're not going to... What's the point of bringing in The Rock to beat, Roman? I mean, I
What's the
have
point
no
of The
problem
Rock
with
coming in
Roman Reigns, you know?
to beat John Cena? He beat John Cena. You know what I'm saying? What was that point?
But the plan was that they were going to come back and do it again.
You think so? You really think they would call it
that was always the plan.
the match of the century? Once in a lifetime?
You think that they're not going to give? You thought they were not going to give Cena his win back against The Rock?
I don't think they should have really.
I
mean, maybe not the next year, maybe not the next following year, but like, you know, because they made.
I think that they were gonna fucking do it. I think they wanted to do it 3 times because it would be so easy to just be like, they've got one win apiece.
Match, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, and like, but then I think because he got hurt in that match, and they were like, Hollywood was like, bullshit, dude. You're not gonna cost us millions of dollars. He's like, you know how much money you cost us? You postponed this fucking movie shooting for months because you got hurt.
Yeah.
I honestly think they were gonna try and be like, yo, 3 years in a row. It's like, god damn.
I mean, to be honest though, like I wouldn't mind seeing The Rock at WrestleMania. I would, if I see The Rock at WrestleMania again, I would want to see him go against Triple H. Triple H versus The Rock. That's what I want to see. You know?
Then, like, why?
Because
you were just rehab, like you
that
can
Intercontinental.
Remember watch them both in their primes having amazing matches.
When they had that Iron Man match,
them come back as old men and just
because they're not old man. Because Triple H could go really. If you look at Triple H could go, and so can The Rock, man. Like they
what was the last great match Triple H had?
The last great match Triple H had was against Brock Lesnar, right? The one against Brock Lesnar, man, when fucking Brock broke his fucking arm.
That was years ago, though, man.
Was that years ago? That was
years ago. Since then he's had a lot of matches, and notice you said none of them were great because that's the match he went to. He went again. He had the Dean Ambrose match. He had a world title run since then.
He had that match against Sting. I mean, he had the match against Sting.
He had that Dean Ambrose match for the title. He had the Sting match. He main evented with Roman. He had the Seth Rollins WrestleMania match. He had the John Cena match. He's had a ton of and like and you just said none of them was stood out. So like, I don't see him in The Rock. Like, that's the thing. I think we're just rehashing stuff. Yeah. If we're gonna bring someone back, we should do something special. Like that's why I don't mind Rock and Roman, because at least it's something fresh, and at least we're putting over a star of today. We're not trying to put over a star from the Attitude Era that's not going to be around full time.
I think that's what they're trying to do, though. Is they're trying to give that Roman that rub, right? Because Roman is almost there. I feel like he's almost there. He's getting a lot better on the mic. Like a lot better on the mic.
I think he's there. I mean, I think it's obvious that I think the thing with Roman is like the thing with John Cena. It's just cool to hate him. I don't think anyone really hates Roman Reigns because I mean he can talk, he can go in the ring. I mean every pay-per-view he has great matches.
Right.
He has great matches. Anyone you put him in there, he can go. So I think it's the cool thing to do is to hate Roman like it was with Cena. But deep down, everyone knows that Cena's the guy. Cena's Cena moves merch. Cena sells tickets. Cena has great matches. Oh, gee, why do I hate him again? Oh, because he's John Cena. I think that's where Roman is now.
Cena, right? Super Cena was like
exactly. That's why
Roman is not because Super Roman.
He's gonna beat everyone.
Roman will have a match against Prince Devitt or whatever, and fucking he'll take him 15 minutes and take him to the limit, and then he has a match against Baron Corbin, same shit. So I don't know. Like I think like Roman.
That's like a problem though. I mean, I don't think that. Roman Reigns needs to be going 50-50 with someone like Baron Corbin. There's certain people that he should run through, and there's people that because if he goes in there and he runs through like a big name, but then he takes goes 50-50 with like a mid-card guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there should be levels. I think that there's way too much. Like everyone's got to be protected, everyone's got to be equal. There's way too much of that. There's stars. And there's non-stars, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can be in the business for years and make a lot of money, and still be a top guy. That doesn't mean you need to be the man. Jake the Snake Roberts was never the man. But he was one of the best of all time. Mr. Perfect was never the man. Ravishing Rick Rude. All these guys. Roddy Piper was never the world champion. But they were all big stars. But when they went up against the top of the top guys, they took their losses, So I think that there's nothing wrong with not having to be, the top guy. But today, everyone, it's like everyone gets a shot with the title. Everyone's a world champion nowadays. Like every major guy has been the world champion. So it's like no one's special anymore because everyone's been a champion.
So what about some of the wrestling that you've been watching, man?
Well, I mean, I'm really into Evolve right now. It's probably my favorite promotion. You should really check out Evolve. Evolve is awesome. Evolve is very big.
I heard that Velveteen Dream went to Evolve for a minute.
Yeah, he went to Evolve. Adam Cole went down to Evolve. They have a working relationship with the WWE. Gabe, who runs Evolve, actually works for the WWE also. Like, he works there in a backstage capacity, and he also runs Evolve.
He used to run ROH, right?
He's the guy that used to do book ROH, book Dragon Gate USA.
Keep talking. I gotta get something for my tooth. It's like killing me, but like keep talking. Give me 10 seconds.
Yeah, go fix your tooth, motherfucker. I think he's got herpes or something. Affects his teeth. But yeah. What's up, y'all? Here it comes. What the fuck are you drinking? You just swallow that? Liquid Orajel? Damn, I've never seen that Orajel that big before. That's like fucking family size. What the hell is wrong with your tooth, man? So what happens when you don't brush your teeth when you're younger?
I was eating candy. I was eating candy like while I was sleeping, and in the morning this hard candy, and like I like to chew them. And when I did it in the morning, like I chewed one, and I felt it was like I was chewing a lot harder. It wasn't candy anymore that I was chewing. I was like, wait, that feels a lot harder than candy. And I look and I'm chewing my fucking
You're chewing all your tooth. Or you just ate some nasty ass pussy.
Yeah. Anyway, that's better. Thank you.
Yeah. Evolve is really good, dude. I mean, like I was saying, Darby Allin, that guy's awesome. Austin Theory, AR Fox, Joey Janela.
I've seen him.
They've got lots of, they've got a lot of great wrestlers. They got a lot of great things going on in Evolve. I was checking in and out of Evolve for a while because they would get kind of hot and I'd hear a lot about them and I'd run with them for a little bit, then I'd kind of fall out of it. But they've been on like a 3-4 month just tear where almost every show has just been like a banger,
All right. So what was the last show? What was the last show?
They're all numbered, dude. So I think it was like 112 or so. But there was like between like the last 6 shows, there were like 2 of those shows that were just like unbelievable. Like where you like front to beginning to end, just really great shows that you want to check out. New Japan, of course. New Japan has been great. I just watched like the 3 Destruction shows that they had. The second one was okay. The first and the last show were really good. The last show was really, really strong. It had a strong undercard, and it wasn't just the main event. A lot of the New Japan shows, like I told you, it's mostly about the main event, but there was some great story progression and storytelling. And if you want to get into New Japan, now is a really great time because, the Destruction shows, they just had 3 Destruction shows. They got the show coming up in Long Beach next week, and 2 weeks from that is the King of Pro Wrestling show. So there's like really big New Japan shows all coming up. I'm waiting on the Battle of Los Angeles shows to drop.
Well, they just happened, right? So you're waiting on the DVDs to come out, right? Do you want to know who the winner is?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But
guess what?
I have my pick.
Who's your pick?
My pick is Jeff Cobb.
Okay. Well, you know who won.
My second pick is Bandito.
You picked Jeff Cobb because he's from Hawaii? Because he's from Kaimuki?
No, it's either going to be Jeff Cobb or Bandito because those are like the 2 hottest names now. And every year, whoever's the hottest indie guy going in is the one who usually wins it.
Joey Janela, I think is a pretty hot name, though, don't you think?
Joey Janela's been hot for like 2 years now, though. He's not like, the new hot thing.
Joey Janela's chick, his
Jeff
chick
Cobb's
is
been kind of hot, but he was hot as, Matanza.
I remember Jeff Cobb back in the day in ROH, though. Like, he's kind of...
Who? Jeff
Cobb? Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Well, he's just starting out in ROH now.
You sure? I think I remember him back in the day. Like
He just got. They just literally signed him.
oh, maybe I'm thinking.
And he's about to start up in like he's just starting in ROH. He's just starting out in New Japan, so he's like the hot guy. But so is Bandito, and Bandito's WWE is trying to sign him also.
Yeah.
And because Pentagon and Phoenix turned him down, so they're trying to get Bandito.
Well,
so
they didn't turn him down. They have a deal with.
Well, their deal was set to expire, and they re-signed all the way through 2019. So they pretty much turned him down. But they're trying to sign everyone. They're trying to sign Shane Strickland also, who's the Evolve champion. So they're pretty much just want everyone.
Well, I don't think Penta and Ray Phoenix would do good in WWE. Just because, like, if you look at like Mystico or Sin Cara, right? Like, what happened with him and. Like, Penta, I think he's so cool. Like, he's such a fucking cool character. Like, you don't know if he's a bad guy or if he's a good guy for real, Because he looks like a bad guy, but, like, go ahead.
I think that WWE just, they have trouble getting over mask workers. I think that WWE is, like, their audience, like, because it's so big time and it's so, like, not indie type and it's not lucha libre, like
right.
So like there's no respect like for the mask.
Right.
There's no like the main WWE audience doesn't care about a mask, Like in Mexico there's so much history and stuff into the mask, and that so when they bring that over, like the indie fans, like it kind of like transfers, like they because they know who these guys are and they know the history and they know like the Mexican heritage and about the mask. And then you like go to WWE and it's like they don't give a fuck about the mask. I mean, look at Andrade. I mean, look at Alberto. Alberto's probably the biggest star they had, and they
Alberto
took
never
the mask
off
of him.
Alberto took the mask
he
off.
wore a mask for a long time,
but he took it off way before he got to WWE, though.
Yeah, he took it off before he got there, but Andrade didn't. They took his mask off.
Andrade is like a good look. I mean, he's got a good look. He's like
But I mean, so did a lot of guys. I mean, like El Generico. I mean, he was never like a traditional luchador, but he built himself. He built himself and his whole reputation as El Generico, as that character with that mask.
Wait, just so we're clear, right? Just so I know, like. El Generico is Sami Zayn, right? That's
yes.
Okay.
And like when he signed, people were pissed off that they took that mask off of him because he built his whole career with that mask. I mean, besides Mysterio, who really like got over as like a masked wrestler,
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone in the WWE that became a legit big player wearing a mask?
I mean, I would say like. What was his name? What was his fucking name? Mantor.
Mantor? Are you fucking crazy?
All right. Well, technically, is Ultimate Warrior wearing a mask?
No.
Is LOD wearing a mask? Is LOD?
I think face paint is different because I think it has a lot to do with facials.
What about, yeah, because Vince McMahon likes
he likes the emotion. He likes to. They like to zoom in and get the facials and like. That's why if you can do like really good facials, you're like a real step ahead. And with face paint, you can still, convey that emotion. With a mask, it's hard. The thing is, though, like a lot of guys can do it with the mask, but they're not going to get a chance to do that in WWE. But I mean, like Andrade, he's getting over big. They're saying that Vince loves him, and they might even let him win the Rumble.
Well, yeah, I like him too. I like him just because he has like these dope maneuvers, like on SmackDown vs. AJ. Like he had this one thing, he missed the kick, but he swings through with his fucking elbow. Yeah, it's like holy shit, and it makes like a popping sound. It's just like, oh my god, he knocked the fuck out.
And you know what? He worked his like. The thing about him was like he really worked his ass off to get to that level because when he came in, he had a lot of hype, and he didn't like get over immediately down in NXT. And he turned into like a jobber to the stars. Like he would be on every takeover, but it would just be to, job to the new guy coming in. He jobbed to Roderick Strong when he first came in. He jobbed to Bobby Roode when he first came in. Like every takeover and every show, he'd just be jobbing to these big names. And he was miserable. He wanted to leave, he wanted out because he was not doing anything, But he just kept doing it. And after a while, he would be a jobber, but he'd be having these great matches. And finally they were, they couldn't ignore him anymore. And once they put him with Zelina Vega, that was like a great act. He became the champion. He had match of the year candidates with Gargano. And then he went up to the main roster, and then he disappeared for a long time. Like they had him do a couple job matches against no names, and then he was gone for like a month. And again, it was like, dude, they're just gonna waste this guy. Then he got in there with Rusev and AJ and Daniel, and now again, like he does not let you forget about him. He'll go out there and perform, and it'll be like, oh shit, they're not gonna forget about him.
When I see he's on the card, I'm like, oh cool, like that's a match I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna wait for that main event, because like I want to see him, I want to see him, and that's like. And I'm not, like, I've never seen him in Mexico. I've never seen any of his old matches.
Well, he used to be La Sombra in Mexico.
That doesn't mean shit to me, Like,
yeah, I know that.
La Sombra, it sounds like fucking...
You know how he comes out with the mask on?
Right, and he takes it off.
And then that was his mask that he wore in Mexico. So that's like him paying homage to, his old character.
You want to hear a cool story, actually, about this week, last weekend? I went to the fashion district in Los Angeles, which is like a little Mexican town, kind of like it's a bunch of little Mexican vendors, like all up and down the sides of this alley, and they sell like they sell like bootleg shit. Like I bought this for $5, I bought like
what the fuck is
so
that?
Like it's like something that you put your phone on, and it's like a tripod for your phone, whatever. But like the girls I was with, they bought like a bunch of shoes and shit like that. I bought some sunglasses for I bought designer sunglasses, $7. Anyway, so one of the things I'm going to look for, I want to find a lucha mask, okay? So finally I find this toy store, and I'm asking a bunch of people, like, where can I find lucha masks? They're like, oh, I don't know, Finally find a toy store that has, like, a couple of mannequins up with lucha masks, and my homeboy's like, yo, there's lucha masks, and I go over there, and I start talking to the lady, like, yo, I want to buy one of these lucha masks, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, no, they're not for sale. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, not for sale. I'm like, I'll give you $20 for it. She's like, nah. I'm like, $40. She's like, nah. Then my homeboy looks like around the corner, and she's got like stacks of lucha masks, like just stacks in the plastic. You know what I'm saying? Like they had, and I'm like, what's that? They wouldn't sell them to me, dude. They will not sell me a lucha mask.
Why?
I have no idea. And I think it's because I'm not Mexican. And so they wouldn't sell me a lucha mask.
That's so racist.
I know. And I was just like, for real? Like, you're not going to sell it to me? $40? He's like, nah. And I was like, I kind of respected it. I was kind of like, well, shit, I guess, like...
maybe they thought, like, you were going to put it on and go bomb something or something,
No,
I'm being racist, but I'm just saying, I mean, why would they sell it to you?
I think maybe because the whole lucha mask thing's like, you have to be Mexican to rock the lucha mask, But...
Be like, hey, just be like, I'm just a different kind of brown.
Like, hey, instead I bought like some fucking bugged out contact lenses and things like that, but,
There you go. Hey, so, did you like, what do you think about All In?
Yo.
Did you even watch it?
I watched it. I watched it with my brother.
All of it?
So I did. Me and my brother, so I watched it. My brother doesn't watch wrestling at all. The last wrestling he watched was like Stone Cold, kind of like, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm aware of this for the rest of the show.
All right, cool. So like my brother, he's into like, he was into like Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of shit that he.
I can't wear this. I can't.
Oh no, put it on, bro.
It's the beer, man. I can't drink my beer.
Oh. But no, see, like that'd be cool.
That's kind of cool.
But like,
it's the Halloween edition.
But anyway, so and then so I sat down with my brother. And first of all, my brother was like, yo, this is wrestling now? He's like, this is fucking wrestling now? This is the shit, by the way, And, like, hands down, my favorite match, man, like, and I can't even believe I'm going to say this, my favorite match was the women's match. I fell in love with Chelsea Green. Like, that bitch is so
She's a great character.
So fine. And she's a great character.
She can go in the ring, which she never got to show in TNA because all they focused on was the character. That it got to the point where you're like, yeah, she's a great character, but I've never seen her wrestle.
Man,
so when I saw the match, I was like, whoa, this bitch can wrestle too? Because, all they did in TNA was show her in the crowd being a fucking weirdo. It was like, whoa, this bitch can wrestle too? And Tessa is like a mega star. I can't believe WWE passed on her.
Man, because I feel like she hit she hit like the other girls for real. Like I feel like there was times when she hit girls and then you could see her like apologizing and be like sorry. You know what I'm saying? And it's like fuck, dude, she just knocked that bitch out. Like
yo, I saw her a Wrestle Circus show. Her and Brian Cage main evented, and like they were beating the shit out of each other. And Brian Cage is not a little motherfucker, and she was tossing his ass around. And I was like, damn. You know, like intergender matches, a lot of times it's hard to suspend disbelief. Cheap plug. But goddamn, like she had me, I was buying that shit. Like, this bitch is fucking Brian Cage up, you know?
Yeah, like that match, man, like I stopped it in the middle and I was like, I gotta go back from the start and like pay attention to every single thing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because that match was fucking dope as fuck. Hands down, best match of the night. And then
but it was good.
I mean, you know, and then the main event felt so rushed. You could tell.
The main event was rushed by like 20 minutes because Okada and Skrull decided to fucking blow past all their time cues and shit.
You could tell.
It's like you can't bring over Okada from New Japan, who's been like the world champion for 2 years, and he goes out there in main events and has like 45-minute to an hour matches every fucking week. And you're gonna bring him here and be like, go 20 minutes. He was like, no, I'm gonna go when I want to go.
Yeah,
and he just went when he wanted to go. You know, therefore, it was a good match. But
therefore, it felt like a little, like almost like you're waiting for it. You know, waiting like and then it was like, it was just like it didn't bring me home.
Are you talking about the main event?
The main event, yeah. Like I just thought.
Well, yeah, because they didn't have time. They had to immediate. It's like they got in the ring and they were like, "Okay, go home." Like,
because you could hear them. You could hear when they said, "Go home, go home," and it's like.
And like you saw, like they were like rushing their asses out there, and then like it was crazy. I mean, I thought the NWA title match was really well done too. Like there was a lot of
I thought that should have been this.
They made it feel big time, like the drama, and I thought Omega and Pentagon was good. I thought Jericho, that was like a huge deal because Jericho said he would never appear anywhere in the U.S. And here he is, so
trolling like a motherfucker. But then, so now the next match is Willie Mack versus what's his name versus
Cody Mack.
Cody versus Willie Mack for the NWA World Title.
When's that match?
That's they have this thing Hollywood fucking.
Oh, Hollywood Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, Hollywood Championship
Wrestling. I thought I know the next because I know they're doing the rematch at the 70th anniversary show.
Are they?
Yeah, Cody and Aldis, and they're gonna have Jim Cornette and Tony Schiavone are gonna be calling it.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's just oh man, you must not check out the Suspend Disbelief Facebook page, because all that news is up there.
Oh, is it all up there?
Oh yeah. Plus, we today we updated a whole ton of rare. I can't believe this happened matches. Some good shit up there, We've got Andre the Giant versus Mick Foley.
What?
Yeah, we've got some crazy rare stuff on there, like a lot of, wow kind of things on there,
Okay. I've also been collecting a bunch of photos that it's like, man, these are crazy fucking wrestling photos, but trying to put them up there. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'll check some of those matches out. What else you got up there? What else you put?
We got all kinds of cool stuff on the Suspend Disbelief podcast page.
Yeah.
You gotta check it out, man. We got the latest news. We got memes going up. We got all kind of cool pictures.
Some merch coming soon. So maybe some.
We got Sabu and the 1-2-3 Kid from '93.
What? And what federation is that? What federation is that?
I don't even know what federation that's
from. It says Sabu versus 1-2-3.
I think it might be a global. We got Steiners against Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow. We got Edge versus Kevin Sullivan from 1996. We got the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, teaming up in WCW in 1991 when they were Oz and the Diamond Stud. That's on there.
Really, that's dope.
We got William Regal and Shinya Hashimoto when Regal challenged for the world title in Japan. Yeah, lots of cool shit up there. Check out that Suspend Disbelief Facebook page. You know, it's updated. You know, if not every day, every other day.
All right, and we also got the Instagram and the Twitch and the Twitter. We're on all of the social medias. And
Yeah, hey, go to the page. There, it's sticky up there. It has links to everything. You know, you can check out. There's links to the Twitch, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, the podcast archives. You know, just one click, check it out. You can get to everything you need.
oh, I saw my dog.
We update this podcast every 6 to 9 weeks. So
yeah, you know, we're working on it. We just, you know, it's whenever we feel like in our hearts when we want to speak about some wrestling, that's when we're gonna update it, right?
And whenever we don't feel fat.
Yeah, you know, it's important not to feel fat, you know. But oh no, come here, too sweet me, come here, too sweet. I taught my dog how to do too sweet me, so he's sleeping right now. But next week, I'll show you next week.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. What else is going on?
Not much, man. Like, you know, I got a friend coming over in a second. I gotta clean up a little bit.
But check out that awesome Nitro shirt.
Cabron? What is that? What is that?
That's an awesome Nitro shirt.
Awesome Nitro? Like
Nitro. It's
no,
Nitro.
Oh, Nitro. Yeah. So I like the Marty Scroll mask though. That's dope.
You know. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
All right then. I believe that is gonna be it for today's episode. Right? How you feeling? You feeling good about it?
I feel alright. All
right then.
There was not a lot to talk about.
All right, too sweet, bro.
Even though we were gone for like 6 months.
Too sweet me. And then we're out.
Ooh. Alright. I have to go this way.
Late.